I self-produce an album at home with almost no money, and you can do that too, and I'll show you in this video how I've done that. First of all, let's talk about equipment, but also show you now some equipment that's really nice to have, but don't let the equipment stop you from doing stuff, because after I show you the equipment, I will also show you some alternatives that you can use that are much cheaper, but the stuff I'm using is already cheap, so but there are also some alternatives to that, so never let the gear stop you from creating. And also you can lend most of the stuff, or you can buy it used somewhere, or there are so many alternatives, so the equipment should never get in your way. So here's some of the equipment I used. You need a laptop or a computer, a mic, interface, a DAW like Logic, Ableton, FL Studio, a MIDI keyboard, headphones and speakers, and instruments, but that depends really on your style of music you're making. Alternatives, if you don't already have this equipment, like you can use for DAWs, there are a lot out there, and there are some that cost money, but there are also free ones like BandLab or GarageBand. And sometimes there also, if you buy a MIDI keyboard, there's some code in it to buy a free software version of some DAWs like Ableton. I guess that's how I started with Ableton, and they're really great, and when you need to upgrade them, you can upgrade them. For microphones, I mean, there are some that don't cost that much, like mine I use, I mean, they cost like a few hundred, and that's pretty okay. But you can also use your cell phone to record, or your laptop microphone. I also did that for this song, and it sounds pretty nice. But I guess it also worked just because it had so much echo and reverb on it, and you need to figure out how good your sound needs to be. I mean, the sound quality isn't the same when you record with a laptop or your cell phone. And another alternative for microphones is also a portable microphone with a SD card, so you can record it, and then after that you can upload it on your laptop, so you don't have to use an interface to make the sound into your computer, because you use the interface to convert the audio sound into computer sound, that it can work with that. So if you don't want to buy an interface, you can do that. And also, I mean, you don't need to have a MIDI keyboard. I also recorded some of my sounds with the laptop keyboard. Actually, it isn't the same, but you can work so differently, and sometimes you come up with completely different ideas if you work with your computer or laptop keyboard than when you work with a real keyboard, because it's such a different kind of usage. It's really nice. You should try that out definitely, even if you have a keyboard at home. So now nothing stops you from starting recording and producing and writing your own album. From me, these are all the same steps, because like my songwriting is super much connected to producing, and I'm not a person that writes songs on the guitar and then afterwards I try to produce them. For me, producing and songwriting are really connected to each other. But I mean, that really depends on your genre and how your workflow is. And for recording, you definitely should be aware of the room acoustics. So the room shouldn't be too big, it shouldn't have too many windows, it shouldn't have too many mirrors because they reflect the sound. But you can only also use that, but you should be aware of that and use it consciously. And it also helps if you stand really near to the microphone, that it won't record much of the room. And you can also build like some little room acoustic setup with towels and blankets, and that can make the sound pretty good. But yes, and also there are so many different microphones and they record differently. Mixing and mastering can make your soundtrack so great. Mixing can be really expensive, but if you don't have any experience in mixing, I would recommend that you give that to someone professional. I watched over the years so many mixing videos and I experimented a lot with that I would say I did a pretty okay job, but I could definitely done better. But I just wanted to save that money and do it on my own. And the most important things I did is like reverb, echo delay, panning, compression, and yeah, that's pretty EQ. Let's say EQ. Yeah, that's pretty much what I did. And for mastering, I hired someone because everybody says that, and that's also my experience. If you do mixing on your own, you need to hire someone who do the mastering, because they will see like certain errors and they will correct them, and that's, you have such much better result if someone professional does the mastering. And there are AI tools out there do mixing and mastering, and I don't know, I have never tried them, but you can try them out. But be aware that AI tools are very bad for our environment, so use them conscious. For artwork, you're completely free. Maybe you like to draw or to photograph, and then you can use that, or you have a friend who's pretty good at that, and then you could use that. I personally scanned in some flowers and melons and made in Lightroom this effect on them. And I also did some self-portraits for that. And yeah, but you're completely free, but you should remember that you need to do them. Distribution. If you have your artwork, you're mixing, mastering done, you recorded everything, you produced everything, you need to distribute them. You can do that on SoundCloud and Bandcamp, and then it's completely free. But if you want to have the songs on Spotify, Apple Music and everything, you need like a distribution platform like DistroKid or Ditto. I use Ditto and it's pretty cheap, which I like, but it needs a lot of time to upload, so you should be aware of that. And what's also very important, you should fix a date when you want that, so that everybody knows when your album's out there and when your song's out there, and then you can start like with your promotion work. So I said that I paid money now and then, but I also received some money because there are foundations out there or cultural promotion, but that depends really on the region that you're living in. But I was getting some money for that, so I in reality almost spent the money, even though I paid for mastering and the distribution service and everything. But yeah, if you want to check out the final result, it's out on 4th of April and the first songs are already out. Okay, they are in the description to check it out. And if you want to see more of this kind of video, you should also subscribe to my channel, and I see you there. Bye.